The universe isn't just out there, it's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. There's a lot of talk out there that I'm hearing about people wanting things to stay the same. They're seeing things happen in the world. The next comment I hear is, I just really want things to stay like they were. But that's not going to happen. And if we see the way things have been going, it looks like some of these places in our life are actually going to speed up. Change is going to be happening faster. And we have a choice. Each one of us has a choice if we want to participate or if we just want to come along kicking and screaming. You know, you've seen those toddlers that are forced to go shopping and they don't want to, and they're literally throwing themselves in the middle of the aisle, having a full meltdown. And I find it ironic. I have been witnessing adults have those same types of tantrums. They're not throwing themselves on the ground. They're not causing such a scene, but there is that same level of resistance. And it is a level of resistance that you can just feel in every cell of their body. I am cautious. I am somewhat conservative in my decision making. I don't just typically make decisions the spur of the moment. I want to weigh out pros and cons. I want to think about the situation as best I can from every angle. And while I will make decisions, I will progress. I feel like it's a steady approach to the things that are happening around us. There are certainly things that I don't like, but I know I have to do them. I have to go along with it. I have to continue down this path because I don't want to be left behind. I don't want to be one of those people that are staying back and resisting with every fiber of my being. Part of my approach to living is checking in with my body, trying to feel into decisions, trying to feel into what I want and why do I want it and who is making that decision. Is this version of me right now making that decision? Or is it the 5-year-old unhealed version of me making that decision? I'm not a therapist. I'm not a healthcare professional. But I think there's a lot of us that maybe are making decisions from these unhealed versions of ourselves. And it's not this person who we are right now. Me choosing to put myself out into the world, and I mean that by just paying attention to headlines, paying attention to what is happening, that requires a lot of self-care for me. And I'm realizing that not everybody is putting their own energetic needs at the top of their list. When I talk about self-care, I'm not talking about having a spa day. Even though massage therapy is great, I know there's people that have tried acupuncture, that there are types of services that you can work with the tension in your body. I'm not talking about getting your nails done, or a pedicure or manicure. Self-care to me requires a level of communication with myself, having this connection where I tune into my body and I ask, what does it need? I pay attention to how my body responds. I meditate. I ask for clarity about what do I need right now? Why do I feel this way? What is happening? What message is here? Can you do me a favor? Can you like this episode? Share it? Tell your friends? It really helps me out. Thank you. There's a lot of women who don't do that. We have been so indoctrined into helping everybody else. I have to fix everybody else. Reality is that is a complete distraction from yourself. And we can pull back our energy and we can stop healing the tribe. We can stop managing our partners. And I see a lot of managing out there. I see a lot of women managing. And that's the first step. But the second step then is to do things that we need. And I'm not talking about going online and shopping. I'm not talking about indulging in a 30-minute program. I'm talking about tuning into your body, feeling those feelings, looking at those things, asking, what do you really need? What do you really want? And if you don't do that, does it just feel uncomfortable? Do you feel like you're being selfish? And I remember that was a common term in my household, especially with growing up with parents, and maybe it was just the time period where we didn't have the language that we do now, that simply just focusing on myself was always categorized as you're being selfish, which is hilarious to me now because nobody else was doing it for me. You weren't nurturing me. You weren't making sure that I needed, you weren't concerned with my emotions and my emotional health. And there were some times where I look back and it's like, when things happen, why wasn't I taken to the doctor? And why wasn't that a priority? When I'm looking at some of these situations from an adult perspective, there were things that weren't happening. I was trying to do it for myself, and then I was labeled as being selfish, which maybe that's where a lot of us, I don't know if that's common for everyone else. That was a lot of my experience. How dare you get what you need? I myself am needing a lot more self-care right now. I have deleted apps on my phone. I have deleted these distractions. I am making a diligent choice to prioritize my own health right now and well-being. And a big part of that is having a constant connection to what is happening in me, with me, how I feel, what I need. And I still see a lot of women in relationships who seem to be with selfish people and are still hearing a partner say, or hearing a partner get angry and upset when we don't put them first. It is not my responsibility to make sure someone else is happy. It is not your responsibility to make someone else happy, because we can't. Happiness is an internal responsibility. We just can't do it. It has become so crystal clear for me. I cannot participate in things that impact the way I feel. I'm not just going to numb myself. And that means I'm trying to keep myself as energetically open. I'm trying to keep my heart open. I'm trying to keep my throat open. I'm trying to keep my chakras open. I have learned that when I am online and in some of these social communities, I see things. I'm in tune with my body, so I feel the change and shift in my body. I feel my heart closing down. I feel the protection going up. I feel my throat closing down because I want to say something, but nobody really wants to engage online. So much of it is manufactured, or they could just even be bots. And so I feel how my body is reacting in real time. And that is an indicator for me that this is not the best place for me. This is not where my energy needs to even participate in right now. And be very selective. That is self-care for me. That is recognizing that the value that I get isn't enough to offset the negative effects that it has on me. I had a younger family member get into an online exchange with someone else, and I read the comments because this is a person I'm pretty close with, and there were several different back and forths, and I didn't comment on any of those, but after it, I stepped away, and then I went back into the comments later on, and I was like, phew, do I need to teach you how to use your unfriend, block, and report buttons? And I just said, your energy is too precious to engage in this. And I think that's the message that I want to leave here on this episode is each one of us has this limited amount of energy. And how many times are we just wasting it on stuff that doesn't matter, on things that we really can't control, or just focusing on things to numb ourselves out? And I guess I'm going to be a broken record about that. This is our one life. How do you want to live it? And imagine what this world could be if we were all showing up in our brightest, fullest self, participating in life in this way where we can celebrate everybody else. I mean, everybody has something to bring. Everybody has something to contribute. And sometimes the first step of this is to get to know who I am, what I need, where I can show up, take care of myself so I can show up in the best version of myself. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.